Morning, everyone, or morning, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Friday, May the 10th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions you may have, you can use this email address. This is a link to get into the 100% free trading room. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our room. This is a link. You'll see a subscription in there, a subscription link in there. And for 15% off either the first month or the entire year of a Trade Idea subscription. I open the room every morning at 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's when I start to share my screen. Get live on the mic at about 9:05, and I go up to 3 o'clock today, which is Friday, and up to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays. Well, today is a kind of a weird day for me. This is a day in which I could almost sort of, as I would call, cry in my soup. This doesn't look, let me see if I can get this. There we go. That's a little bit better. Shows you what happened. So if you were in the room yesterday, you know that Stamp, STMP, I shorted this one pre-market yesterday. That had a huge downturn. It has already been beaten up from $200 a few months ago. And yesterday, this is the candle on earnings. But today we're sort of wondering, well, could it possibly have a bounce? All right. So saw this in the pre-market. It was up a little bit in the pre-market, and I was saying if it could get over this mark right there, maybe it could have a bounce. The bottom line is I flat out missed it because I was watching some other things, and then it just took off. And it did have a pullback, but look at this bounce. I mean, it got all the way up to 41, and from at the low of the day from 36. So I missed that one, but this is the one that really hurt. Was this Liberty stock QRTA, another earnings play? I wanted this one just underneath the 13 mark, and I was watching it like a hawk, and it did. I tried to get some at 1274, I think, but it was already down. This uptick rule nailed me. And it was already down over 10% at that point, and I couldn't get where I wanted, and I just didn't want to chase it. I mean, I just can't bring myself to chase this. So, I mean, I had this one basically around just under 1280, and it got all the way down to 1116, so on a percentage basis. But a lot of people were able to get that one, so, I'm happy. Even if I can't get them, that's okay, as long as other people can get them. So those were the two big misses that I had, and I had a couple of little ones. DBX, very tied to the market though. This one was an earnings play, reaction to earnings after hours yesterday. The mauve area looked good in the pre-market, but I mean, again, look at the market. Look what the market is doing right off the bat. So even though we always say that a lot of these stocks will trade on their own, and of course they will, with earnings. But people are right now I think they're just a little bit, I would say a little bit, they're probably gun shy about maintaining a long position and hopping on these, hoping that they'll keep going off the earnings. And so we saw a lot of situations like this. I'm not saying every single one. There are some stocks that of course keep moving. A lot of those were the stocks that are sort of under, what's the word I want? Underwatched, not watched as much, flying under the radar. That's what I want. I'm not saying Dropbox. I mean, DBX, I think people know Dropbox. They've heard of Dropbox, even if you don't have an account with them. But anyway, this is what happened. So I ended up taking the short right here, just underneath the hole number 23. I got rid of most of it right here, and then the market started to climb. And so that's when I, covered. That's why I always say you really have to watch what the overall market is doing. So you keep an eye on the SPY chart. You just see look what the SPY was doing. And it was starting to move Dropbox up, in my opinion. Now, it hasn't continued, but if you're in it just for the short term, like I am, you have to be very aware of what the market is doing. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, PBYI. Well, that turned out to be okay, but it was a gut wrencher. Again, earnings play, but plus I guess one of their drugs failed or is not doing what people thought. I know what it is. Their revenue is way down. They're not getting as much from one of their drugs. That was the earnings release. Off the top of my head, I want to say that people were looking for, I'm just going to say like 67 million in revenue, and they only came in around 45. And so that caused, look at the drop here. And this is basically a well, it's not a lifetime low, but it's there's no real support. So I wanted to short this one, and I actually finally got into this one at 1857. I mean, it was chopping around like crazy. Got into this one. That's right. Because I'm doing so many things, I can't pay attention completely to trading. But I wanted to take this when it broke under 19, and I basically kind of missed it. And I got in. Believe it or not, I got in right here at 1857. And I know I don't like to chase things, but I thought, okay, it was holding. It might have even been this candle. I can't remember anymore. It might have been that candle, but regardless, it was 1857. I covered very quickly at 1836, most of it, because the spread was getting crazy, and I just didn't like the way it was trading. I thought what I wanted. At 1836, it started to move up a little bit, or I got out some at 1836 because I think it moved down and it was moving up. And so I just didn't like the way it was trading, because I thought it would have more of a collapse in it. I mean, look, it's already down 37%. But, when it's at basically there's no support, horrible news, market's down, it just didn't move as much as I wanted it to. So. But anyway, that is kind of it. So really, it was the Liberty, that Liberty stock. There were so many of those Liberty stocks, the TEAF or whatever it was. I'm sorry, Q. Q. In fact, is it putting it a bit of a bounce out? Yeah, QRTA. Sorry, QRTA. Looks like, yeah, it's actually, this is the first bounce. But look how beautiful that is. I mean, it's just hard to miss. Anyway, or hard to take on a miss like that. But anyway, this is the final day of earnings week. We had over 1,000 companies release earnings this week. Next week, we're down to 200. So we will have some earnings plays, but there will not be, nowhere near as many. And with the moves, I mean, this is why you get moves like this. It's earnings. And now what I find is that we'll still probably track some of the earnings. And in fact, maybe next week it might even be easier because we won't have as many to track. So because that can be the problem. There's so many incredible setups all day long that it's sometimes very difficult to, sorry about that, will you stop it? Okay. Sorry, my phone is beeping at me. I don't know why. So many incredible setups that sometimes you end up just chasing one after another, not getting into anything. So next week it'll be a little more calm, but hopefully we'll still see some really great earnings setups, as well as other setups. That's not just about earnings, but certainly when we're in earnings season, and in a week like this, you get a lot of stocks making big moves, and that's what we're looking for, of course, if you're more of an intraday trader. All right, everybody. Well, that is about it. Most of you, if you're part of the test drive, I hope you, if you're in the room, I hope you learned something. You will not be an expert in trade ideas after 1 week. But remember, the room is always open. It's always free. I'm always here to help you if you have any questions. We've got the webinars. We've got the training. So we try to support our product as best as we can. So I know there will still be some of you in the test drive Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday who signed up late. Not late, but just the majority of though took the test drive from Monday to Friday. So anyway, that's it. It's been a long week for me. A lot of questions to answer, but that's okay. That's why I'm there. I'm just trying to bring back, where's my capture program? There you are. All right. So if you have any questions for me, you can use this email address. Again, the link for the 100% free trading room. There's a link right there. There's a promo code in there for 15% off. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I hope to see you in our trading room Monday morning. Bye-bye. And I open the room at 9 o'clock. Bye-bye.